Yes, yes. I'm fully out of focus and looking the wrong way. Yes, yes. What are we saying?
Yes, Briz. What are you saying?
What are we saying?
Briz? I'm alright. Not too bad. It is that time of the season. I sound like Charlie Sloth there, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. You know what time it is, right?
What time it is,
Wait, we actually have the thing.
It's that time of the season.
Oh, no, he's not going to play it because it's the wrong one.
Oh, no way. Yes, guys. How is everybody? We've not had one of these streams for a while. Just a little bit of a random chat.
Random streams, and it's nice actually to talk about just random stuff and not football.
yeah. I mean, the thing is with this, guys, this is going to be focused on the Erling Haaland situation because developments are happening all around with this transfer. It almost seems like every day, like something new, you know what I mean, is happening with the Erling Haaland transfer, and it started like maybe a week ago. And it's sort of like, is it true? And then more people started jumping on it, and more people jumping on it. And then Haaland actually made some comments, and then Dortmund have now made comments. So we're going to go through the sort of timeline and sort of work out where we are on the sort of the curve, you know what I mean? Because with the transfer, bro, there's like a curve. There's like the initial...
The preliminary stages.
Yeah, and then there's like a little bit of a takeoff here where like a couple of guys are like, ooh, I'm hearing news. You know what I mean? And then all of a sudden, everyone starts getting on it. And then it just goes like, it's like a rocket to the moon.
Yeah.
Really.
The Ferran Torres thing is a perfect example of that. You know what I mean? Basically, a few things coming out, and then more things coming out, and then rapid, he's gone. Yeah. Yes, pressed. 15 months. That's a long time, that. 15 months. Jesus, mate. You're an OG, innit? And you know what I mean? The badge proves it. Haaland too. Sky Blue Boogaloo coming soon. I hope so, mate. I hope so. Yes, and I bet LB is late again. Owen said before, innit? But actually, LB was on time today. On time. Yeah, I see all you in the chat and that saying late extra, you know what I mean?
On time,
innit? Do you know what I mean? The timer started at 8. And Mohammed, 12 months. Yes, you're getting your sapphire badge soon, mate. Haaland to City, helicopter. Yes. Patrick, 17 months. Patrick's trumped you all there. Not any big news, but nice little breadcrumbs every day to keep feeding the hype. That's it. Every day we're getting a little bit of coal to put in the train, innit? You know what I mean? And then fire that engine so we can set off. No, I'm actually buzzing for it. Matthew, do I remember the striker from Atletico Mineiro? Jimenez. Can't forget him, mate. He's deadly. Not sure how he's doing this season, though. But Josh, yeah, he said, this is some information, bro. He says, esteemed company fan channel said, you lot are lazy and he doesn't like you. And also he said, he's chat shit, by the way. He said, opinions on esteemed company fan channel. I heard you have beef and our rivals. Mate, we go way back. We have basically this really strong beef with esteemed company. It's like a film, you know what I mean? And then one day we will clash Rude Boy, innit?
Clash Rude Boy.
Jokes.
By the way, that is actually jokes. You know,
that is actually jokes.
For anyone who's like, oh, really?
Doesn't get it. Yeah,
it's actually jokes.
It's a joke, innit?
So today's stream is going to be focused on the Erling Haaland transfer, guys. You know what I mean? That's the person that we're all wanting, like, really. You know what I mean? Some people might be like, nah, I want Vlahovic and that, but realistically, Haaland is the guy that everyone kind of wants, but it's just whether or not we're going to get him. So we're going to go through the details of that. You know what I mean? I've got all this. Bro, I've smashed it. I'm going to send you this, bro, because I've actually done it, bits. I've got on Twitter advanced search City Extra Haaland. So anytime City Extra mention Haaland on Twitter,
you've got it.
I got it. You know what I'm saying? I've already got it, bro.
You've got the deal, innit?
I've got the details. So let me send that to Jordan while Jordan's loading that up, so we can go through the sort of the time horizon. I've got a couple super chats here. One from Zeno. Yes, coming in with a CZK49. Yes, opinions on the articles about City. Not sure what articles you're on about, bro.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Is that the? Well, I don't know what they are, innit? Because, you know what I mean? I don't read it. But I think a few journalists are coming out and saying about, you know what I mean, boring City and how that ruining the Premier League. Could be that.
Oh, bro, my opinion on that is just ignore it, bro.
Basically, my opinion on anything that says we're boring and we're in the Premier League is I cannot wait to ruin the Premier League some more.
Yeah.
When we sign Erling Haaland.
That's the way to approach that, bro. Who cares?
Innit?
Katang? I hope I said your name right, bro.
Katang.
I think that's Hong Kong dollars 38. La Liga will do ETH, not sure what that means, to get Haaland, so people will start watching La Liga again. Messi, Ronaldo, Haaland, Mbappe. Yeah,
I agree with that. I think the Liga might, you know what I mean? I think the dodgy league, and I think they might be funding some cash to Real Madrid. Because apparently, do you remember when they offered the money for Mbappe? Apparently, the Liga were funding that. They were going, get this, go get Mbappe now, because they offered. Do you know what I mean? They can get him for free, but they offered, what was it, 120, 130 million, something like that, for 160 mil, some mad like price in it. They offered like big cash for him.
Yeah, no, absolutely, bro. I think you are right, bro, on that super chat. Thanks a lot for your super chat, and to Zeno as well. And Mohammed J144 upgrading to a tier 3 extra club member. Thanks a lot for the support, bro. We're actually smashing the tier 3 live streams.
Tier 3 live streams are popping.
Get on it. Right, guys, I've got the decent. Have you loaded up the thing, bro? I sent you on a WhatsApp, innit?
Yeah, I'm opening WhatsApp now, bro. I just seen the text, innit?
Buzzing. Right, let's go through the sort of the news, the timelines, right? Because This is it. This is important. You know what I'm saying? This is important. So let's have a look where we are.
Isn't it important? Oh yeah, I've got it. That actually worked. Thanks, Bray, doing the bits. What if Mbappe does a Ronaldo and goes to City last minute? I mean, could do, because there was rumours today about him staying at PSG, weren't there? But I think I seen a rumour today, right, about Mbappe. I know this is not Haaland in it related, but kind of Haaland related because of Real Madrid. I seen a rumour about Mbappe today saying that he's going to sign a short-term contract so that they get cash. But if I was Real Madrid, I'd be absolutely fuming. I'd be like, what are you doing, mate? We can get you for free, and we're going to give you big wages. Yeah.
Right, okay, bro. We're going to start on December the 1st. Yeah.
Okay.
Because if we go back any further than that, we're going to be here all night, and we don't really want to be here more than an hour. Yeah. So that's the situation. We're going to start on December the 1st, right? So let's go for it. Let's go through the timeline, and then we can work out where we're at. So on December the 1st, there's a 90% chance Erling Haaland will leave Borussia Dortmund next summer. That's this summer. With Man City, PSG leading the race. Dortmund are working hard to keep Haaland until 2023 by doubling his salary and the release clause activating rather than 2022. So, to be fair, I think that come out in December the 1st. That's kind of what sort of happened, because we heard, and we'll probably find this as we go through the timeline, and this is where it starts to match up. We heard, I think, last week, rumours and sort of reports that Borussia Dortmund were sort of trying one last time to put one last contract on the table. Because you got to remember, guys, Borussia Dortmund know that they're being absolutely screwed here. They're losing probably the best striker in the world, if not the second best striker in the world, for £75 million in an age where if he had no release clause, he'd be probably going for about £150 million.
Yeah.
Probably minimum, to be honest with you.
But basically, Haaland deserves to get, like, the club who has Haaland really deserves to be getting, like, Mbappe, Neymar money. Do you know what I mean? The big cash, because he's up there. Do you know what I mean? He's up there with the best in the world right now. It's just, he has a release clause in it, so they're getting done. So I can see why they'd be like, let's try and get him to a new contract. Then at least if someone does come in for him, they've got to pay big cash for him. I think this will be later on in the timeline, in your timeline, brave events. But there was a rumour that he was getting offered 300 grand a week, something like that.
Well, it makes sense, you know what I mean? They can just up the transfer fee a little bit. They could up it to 110, 120. People would still be activating that all day long. So that started on December the 1st. Now, for me, what I'm about to say is, in my opinion, some of the most important news / quotes we've heard in this whole debate of Erling Haaland, and it come from Mino Raiola, who is, of course, if you don't already know this somehow, Erling Haaland's agent, and this is what he said December the 10th. He'll take the next step: Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Man City. These are the big clubs he can go to, right? So he's now mentioned a set of teams. He's the agent. If you're thinking to yourself, December the 10th, and in 7 months' time, this guy's going to be signing for a new club, in my opinion, Haaland kind of already knows where he's going. That's my viewpoint on it. He might not have concrete decided, but I think he's probably got a preference as to where he goes, and I think
he definitely at that point would have narrowed it down.
Yeah, so let's go through these. Bayern Munich, they've got Lewandowski. Unless Lewandowski leaves, which is a potential, he's not going to go to Bayern Munich. So we can rule them out.
It ain't going Bayern.
Unless Lewandowski leaves, and if Lewandowski leaves, then I'm not even funny. I know he's 33, but we should be looking at that guy, because that guy is a six striker.
Pure bagsman, isn't it?
Real Madrid, now this is the biggie, of course. They've already got a quality striker in Karim Benzema, and they're looking at signing Kylian Mbappe. Do they, or can they, get Erling Haaland as well as having Benzema and as well as getting Mbappe?
In this, I seen yesterday apparently there's news circulating about an £800 million loan that Real Madrid are going to be getting.
Off who?
I have no idea.
Who's this loan? Can I get who? I want this £800 million loan, bro. Who's giving these loans out?
Bro, we get £800 million and you'll never see us again. We disappear, me and Lewis. We don't pay off the loan. We just disappear in it, bro.
I want this loan, bro.
I want it, innit?
Who's giving these loans out? £800 million in a pandemic, man.
Yeah.
I mean, this is why. The inflation, bro.
Inflation,
this is why,
innit?
because people are giving out £800 million loans when we're in a bloody pandemic to a football team. It's not a real business.
Let's go £800 million. We'll put it all on black, innit? And just try to double our money.
But anyway, so yeah, that's the biggie. Because for me, can Real Madrid get Mbappe and get Haaland and keep Benzema? No, I don't see that. So something's got to give here. Either they don't get Haaland, or they do get Haaland, but then they're going to have to let Benzema go. And again, guys, I know some people might not agree with this one, but I do think we should have a look at Benzema if he's available, because he's a good striker. I know he's old, but the guy bags. Like, he's seriously underrated striker, in fact. But there becomes a real question mark about Real Madrid. Can they finance it? Probably, because they'll get Mbappe on a cheap.
But the thing is, the wage is going to be astronomical, bro. If Mbappe, you get Mbappe on a free, bro. Mbappe goes there and gets big wages, bro. Close to what Messi was on at Barcelona.
But I don't think it matters.
Haaland, big
You just told me to
wages.
get an £800 million loan. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
yeah, true that.
I just don't think it's going to matter. But the fact is, I don't see a situation where Real Madrid can have Mbappe, Haaland, and Benzema all at the same club at the same time. One of them's not going to be able to be there. And whichever one that is, we should be interested. I'm not saying we have to go and get them, but say Benzema becomes available, we should be interested in that. If Mbappe's available, I know the rumours are that he don't want to come to like England and that, but we should be interested. We should speak to him and see if we can make a move. So that becomes a real doubt. We then move on to Barcelona, which at first I had to double check whether that was actually the real thing, because I just don't see, I don't see how this is even a possibility, I mean, they just spent £50 million on Ferran Torres, who I assume is going to play as their striker, and they struggled to get him registered. So they think they're going to be able to...
Simon Umtiti had to sign a new deal with lower wages so that Ferran Torres could get registered as a player at that football club. There is not a way. There is no, I don't see Barcelona aren't in this race. It ain't in it.
No, I agree with you. So, what have we got then? We've got a situation where Haaland's agent, the week before... sorry, not Haaland's agent. There's this reporter come out a week before and said there's a 90% chance of Haaland leaving. Borussia Dortmund are going to try and get him to sign a new deal by doubling his salary XYZ, but it's unlikely. A week later, his agent then name drops 4 football teams. 3 of whom we believe that it's unlikely that he could go without other things happening, i.e. Barcelona would have to get some sort of £800 million loan.
Yeah.
And would he go there? They're miles off even competing in Europe. They got knocked out at the group stage. They're miles away. He'd be an absolute fool to go there, I'm not going to lie. Real Madrid is possible, but it's unlikely that Mbappe and Benzema would also be at the club at the same time, which would leave a player for us to potentially get involved with if we so choose. And as we mentioned just a few moments ago with Bayern Munich, that's not happening unless Lewandowski leaves. And again, if Lewandowski leaves, we should be interested, regardless of his age. So, that's good for City. Right now, we're currently on December 10th here, bro. Just a month ago, we're sitting nice.
No, we're sitting nice, isn't it? Sitting pretty chill.
We are sitting nice,
and then,
bro.
to be fair, this was further back, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? 10th of December, Raiola said that when he's speaking on the future of Erling Haaland, City's won the Championship 5 times in recent years, significantly more than Manchester United. And he did come out afterwards and say, he did like paper over that crack in it, do you know what I mean, to keep his options open in case something did happen. But pretty much a lot of people were saying like, I remember when they got Ole, there was like, Ole's got the pulling power to get Haaland there. That didn't happen. When Rangnick came, they were like, Rangnick's got good, do you know what I mean, good relationships and that he'll be able to get the pulling power to get in there. Ain't happening. I don't see him going to there, especially with the fact that they've got Ronaldo as well on 500 grand a week.
No, exactly, and not being funny. It's looking very unlikely that these guys are even going to make the Champions League.
So who knows when they're going to get back in the Champions League?
Why is he going to make a downgrade? You know what I'm saying? He's not going to do that. But yeah, so that ruled out United as well. In my opinion, United are not in this race.
Can I just say, by the way, if people are just tuning in now, innit, we're not, we've not like dropped no big news or anything like that. We're just going through the timeline of events of Erling Haaland. You know what I mean? We're starting from December. We're working our way up until today.
Yeah, right, okay. So, big news also broke on the 10th of December. 10th of December, by the way, was a huge
big day,
man.
big day.
It was popping off, right? Ducker from the Telegraph.
Yeah, good.
You think it's a good sauce?
Yeah, Ducker, yeah, decent.
Decent sauce. Erling Haaland is understood to be Manchester City's leading striker target for next year. And that day smashed it, bro. Everyone was going hype, you know what I mean? I can see the amount of likes and comments on that tweet, you know what I mean? It was popping off. But that, for me, again, you've just been told by Raiola, these 4 clubs, City were name dropped. You've been told before, a week earlier, from a reporter in Germany, that there was a 90% chance of Erling Haaland leaving. And now we've just been told by a reliable source in England that Haaland is Manchester City's leading transfer target, bro, for the striker position. This is big.
Yeah, good news. You look at that and you're going, you know that basically, obviously there's the will of the fans to want City to go for Erling Haaland. Do you know what I mean? And there's always the name drops of Man City in that. But you get that with any player nowadays, the name drops, do you know what I mean? To bump up wages or to make it more competitive, the choice, or do you know what I mean? Bump up the price. But that coming out, that's showing that City are like, we are in this for Erling Haaland. And it wasn't just the fans willing it to actually happen. We are in it. Do you know what I mean? We are basically saying, we are going to compete for this guy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Now, as night follows daybreak, and as bad news follows good news, this is exactly what happened a day later, December the 11th. And for me, this is the problem. If City don't get this guy,
block, isn't it?
Yeah, if City do not get Haaland, this is the reason why. December the 11th, Mino Raiola is seeking a bumper payout for brokering any deal for Erling Haaland, a total of 55 million euros. Now, Man City are well aware of the kind of money needed to sign the Norwegian, but this is good news, and are still pressing ahead with their plans.
Yeah, so they're basically saying, yeah, we get it. We get that Raiola wants cash. We get that there might be some bumper pay-ups, you know what I mean, for maybe Alf, maybe Raiola, do you know what I mean, some different stuff like that. But City are like, we get it. We've got it. So let's carry on. Negotiations continue. Let go, innit? And then if you look at the price of the 55 mil, someone else also went for 55 mil recently, didn't they, Bray?
Go on,
so, you know what I mean? Ferran Torres has literally paid for it. That's funny, that, isn't it? Imagine like all the Ferran Torres money just went to Raiola, not even to Haaland, or, do you know what I mean? But, do you know what I mean? Basically, yeah, people in the chat there, like, do you know what I mean? Glock there, Raiola's a money grabber. He is. Dan Trollius, isn't it? He is. Raiola, he's a knob. But he's very good at what he does. And what he does is gets top talents and gets himself big cash.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? And because he's good at what he does and he has good assets, he knows he can play ball like this. He can do what he wants. He's in the driving seat there. He's going to have clubs absolutely twerking for Erling Haaland. So he knows he can go, yeah, I want 55 mil myself before you even touch Erling Haaland.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're absolutely spot on. I mean, that would be the stumbling block. But that it was bad news because it was like, yeah, Mino Raiola's still wanting this massive fee, but there is a good news component to that bit in the sense that City were undeterred by that amount and are still pressing ahead with their plans. Now, to be fair, and on a negative note, City may be pressing on with their plans in the belief that Mino Raiola will and has to reduce that amount of money for the deal to happen. And it may well happen that it comes to a final period and City say, although we've pressed along with our plans, because they're not reducing your fee, we're not going to get you and we'll go for someone else. That may be a thing, and that may be a slight negative twist on it. Alternatively, City might just go in, you know what, for F this, we're getting this guy, and if we have to pay the 55 million, we have to pay the 55 million.
Yeah.
That is an option, you know what I mean? So it's a big statement, and again, it's good that City is still involved in this deal. Now, should we move on with the timeline, Bray?
Let's keep going, bro.
Next up was the turn of the Borussia Dortmund CEO to speak. Now, before we go through this, guys, I want to run a quick ad so I can get a little drink. Back in 60 seconds. Shout out Manscaped sponsoring the stream. 85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code EXTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.
How well is it timed? How well is it timed? Yes, yes.
Yes, yes. Shout
Big
out
up Manscaped. Extra 20 in it. Go get yourself 20% off and free shipping. International shipping as well on that, and it's sick.
Boom, boom. Right, let's press on. Let's press on. So, where was we? Borussia Dortmund CEO, guys. We're on the December 19th. If you've just joined us, we're going through the timeline of the whole Erling Haaland saga from December the 1st. We're currently on December 19th. Just a quick summary, basically. Raiola's name dropped us. A reporter in Germany said he wants to, 90% chance of him leaving. And yeah, he's basically ruled out United.
And he's been confirmed as City's leading target.
And we've ruled out every other club in Europe. So he's basically coming to but this is an interesting comment. And this is from another good source, is the CEO of Borussia Dortmund. On Erling Haaland, this is December 19th, guys. I know all European top clubs want him, especially Real Madrid. Now, that's obviously a big bummer, you know what I mean? That's a bad comment. Big interest of Real is confirmed.
This was the start of the Real Madrid push.
I think someday the Spanish league would fit him better than English league. In general, we're hoping he stays. So, obviously, you know what I mean? He's got to say, I hope he stays, but he knows he's not leaving. Now, it's interesting because I think he sounds a bit salty there about the English league. And this does back up, because if you remember when Borussia Dortmund sold us Ilkay Gundogan, they were salty as hell. In fact, Bray.
See, I don't remember this, you know.
You read out that super chat that's coming, Bray, and I'm a proof to you that they were salty guys.
You know what, as well, you said this last time, and a lot of people actually said, where are these quotes in it from Gundogan? I remember Atletico being salty about us signing Rodri. I don't remember it for Gundogan. Yeah, Matthew, I remember you actually commented on one of our videos, Matthew. I remember seeing it. Big up everyone, by the way, with the kiwi emojis when the Manscaped ad runs. That's it. You know, innit? You know. Yes, the trade one. How you doing, mate? Supporter of our channel for quite a long time, innit? £4.49. Haaland needs to follow in his dad's footsteps and join the boys in blue, the best team in London or the world. I completely agree, mate. I want him to come in it. I hope he does. And do you know what I mean? Basically, our number one target. It looks like City are going to swerve on Vlahovic. I know there's a lot of people who do want Vlahovic and would rather just get him instead, but it looks like we're going to swerve on that and just let him do what he wants to do. Maybe if he's still available in summer, we might go for Vlahovic, but it looks like Arsenal are pressing heavy for him. I've seen someone in the chat before say that he wants 300 grand a week. I don't know if Arsenal are going to be willing to pay that, but he's a great striker, innit? So, Max Power, innit? Quite a few people in the chat have answered you, innit? But I see you, innit? Do I know if any players watch the channel?
Don't reveal, bro.
No reveals, innit? Yeah.
Right, I can't find that tweet, but I am going to make it my work this week.
Are you sure it wasn't Rodri?
No, Rodri was another salty.
Because that was salty, wasn't it?
Unless you've not noticed, we're very hated in Europe.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? We're not a very liked club, but they were salty. Anyways, Bray, I promise you I'll find it. I'll find it, Bray. Right, anyways. Yeah, so I think that's a bit of a salty comment anyway from the guy. I think he'd fit in better than England. Like, Bray, who are you? You know what I mean? You're just a random CEO guy. Like, stop talking. Like, it's not your job to start telling him. It's like he wants to push him to Real Madrid. Why? Because he doesn't like us, bro. Because he knows that we're the only team involved. He don't want him to come here.
Also, he knows that if he comes here, then football's over. Because, bro, we get Haaland. Look, Shajon there. Yes, Shajon, isn't it? The £2 in. I can't remember if it is actually Shajon. I think it might be Shayon. Oh, I don't know anyway. I remember you saying last time, you actually told us how to pronounce this. Haaland, Cancelo, Foden and KDB destroys the world. And you know what I mean? He'd be looking at that. You know what I mean? He'll be looking at that going, if he goes to that team, then, do you know what I mean? It's basically cheating.
Yeah, no, again. Anyway, I think that's a bit of a dodgy comment from the Borussia Dortmund CEO, and that tells it might. If you think it's a salty comment, then that's good because that means he's worried about him coming to England. Anyway, December 19th, we're still on December 19th, bro. Big things happening on December 19th. Mino Raiola again having a conversation. This is quotes from Mino Raiola, Haaland's agent. Haaland can wait for everyone. We don't have a pre-agreement with any club. We will look for the best option, and I would never rule out another year at Dortmund. Theoretically, this is still possible. Now, this for me is a bit of a dodgy comment, yeah? He's saying, theoretically, it's still possible. Yeah, well, obviously it's still possible, bro. The guy's under contract, you know what I mean? He's got to say that. He's got to say that because, I'll tell you why he's got to say that, bro. Because he wants his 55 mil, and if he don't get the 55 mil, he's going to tell Haaland to stay. That's what's going to happen, bro. So he's like, that's why he's saying that. Because if he come out and went, like, for example, if he come out now and went, Haaland is leaving Dortmund, he don't want to play there anymore, he wants to leave, he will leave, right? Like, he's burnt his bridges, Haaland's burnt his bridges with Dortmund, and the fans probably won't like him. City will just turn around and say, well, we're not paying you 55 million, we'll give you 5.
Yeah, well, why would we do that? Yeah.
And he'll go, well, no, you got to pay me the 55 or he'll stay at Dortmund, and City will just be like, well... Let him stay at Dortmund and see how that goes, pal. Like, have you just realised what you've just said? You know what I mean? You've just murked the whole football club. So, I think... And this is what Mino Raiola does, guys. You got to remember, as much as people don't like Mino Raiola, he's very, very good at what he does.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He's a rat. He's a rat. Someone called him a parasite in the chat before. And that's the great word for it. He's a parasite, do you know what I mean?
But he's a professional parasite.
He'll leech the cash from whatever club he goes to, but he's very, very, very good at his job. There's a reason why that guy is absolutely loaded.
So for me... This comment doesn't really tell me that much, to be honest with you guys, because he's obviously not going to say where he's going, you know, not in December. So he's said he don't have a pre-agreement with anyone. We're looking for the best option, which we, you know, he's got to kind of say that. And he's also saying he could stay at Dortmund, because he's got to say that. Even though that's not going to happen, he's got to say that because, like I say, if for some reason... the deal did fall through and he said, nah, I don't want to be there, then everyone at Dortmund would know that this guy doesn't actually want to be there, you know what I'm saying? But it's good that he's talking because he's getting the Haaland hype up, you know what I mean? He's starting to talk.
He's really, every time he speaks, he reveals something, do you know what I mean? He's revealing a little, I mean, like Patrick said before, bro, breadcrumbs, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? That's what he's revealing. Just before we go on to the next thing, bro, someone just said then, I just seen it, I literally just scrolled up just so I had it. Joe Hawks, bro. July the 1st, agent fees are capped to 6% of the fee, which is true, which is why, potentially, if he can get a pre-contract agreement in place before them because basically it's in Raiola's interest then, do you know what I mean? And Haaland's interest to get a deal done before the wage cap comes in. Or the agent fee. Do you know what I mean? Raiola's going to be pushing him to get this done before that agent fee cap comes in.
Yeah, let me tell you something though. You got to understand who you're dealing with here, yeah? These people are the richest people in the world, and they don't play by these rules, man. You know what I mean? If you think for 1 minute that Mino Raiola is going to go from brokering deals at 55 million euros and 20 million euros for Pogba or whatever it was, to receiving a paltry 5 million euros, you know what I mean? You're dreaming. He will. These you got to understand, guys. You know what I mean? What we just described him, man, a parasite.
Yeah.
So you think when this rule comes in, he's going to be like, oh, I'll just play by the rules then, and I'll just cut my big cash monies down from 20, 30, 40 million pound a deal to 2 to 3. You're in cloud cuckoo land, man. This guy he'll bend the rules. That's what these people do. I'm telling you.
Yeah, that's true.
He might not do. You know what I mean? No libel in that. But
yeah. No. If you're watching this, innit? We ain't liable. We're just joking, mate.
Yeah, he probably won't, to be fair, because he seems like a nice guy, innit? But I'm just saying that he probably could do if he wanted to. But yeah, that's my viewpoint on that one. Yeah.
Continue,
bro. December 22nd, and it's that man Ducker again. Now, this is twice I've read this guy's name out. This is telling me something. That tell me two things, Brad. That one, He's either making up everything he wants, and he's the one trying to push this Haaland thing. He doesn't know nothing, and he's just trying to like, oh yeah, I'm ducking, yeah, I'm getting this stuff out. Or two, he's got an inside line, bro.
Yeah, bro.
Because on December 22nd, he says that the money raised by Ferran Torres is going to be likely to be directly put towards the signing of a new striker, and Man City are in the hunt for Erling Haaland.
I do also think that's an easy cop-out. That's an easy thing to say, that, I think. Do you know what I mean? It's an easy thing to say where, no one will ever confirm that. So it's an easy thing to say.
Yeah, well, no one ever confirms anything. That's the job of a journalist. The journalist's job, that is the journalist's job. Like, otherwise we wouldn't have journalists. If the club just went, yes, thanks, we've sold Ferran Torres and we're going to put that money toward this player, then basically, like, journalists would not exist, innit? The reason journalists exist is to give us the dark news, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They are basically the dark web, innit? Like, this is where we have to go to find the content, you know?
A bit different than the dark web, but we'll go with it, innit? The journal web.
But that's good news. A day later, bro, more news. This time, coming from Germany.
Big.
Germany. Man City are ready to pay Erling Haaland's €75 million euro release clause. Man City are joined by United and Real Madrid in the race. Dortmund plan to hold first concrete talks with Erling Haaland's camp in January to find out his plans. Now, this is huge. And you got to let me finish. First of all, this is the first time we've been told that City are like, boom, we're going to pay this €75 million euro release clause. But also, two, which is massive. And the reason this is massive is because this is in the same report that they're saying that City are going to pay this cash, and they're saying that Erling Haaland is going to speak to Dortmund in January about possibly staying. Now, as you're going to find out when we go through this timeline, you're going to see what happens in January. And I'll give you a clue. It's that.
It is that. I mean...
Now, how did they know that he was going to hold talks in January?
Breadcrumbs, bro.
When he does hold the talks, you know what I mean? They've already got one thing right there. Who's to say that they've not got the other thing right as well, that City are going to pay this fee and City are going to get him? Mm-hmm. Now, to be fair, they also say
joined by United and Real Madrid. However, as we go further on, I think...
And also, because we're City fans, we're going to ignore that bit, you know
yeah,
what I mean? We're going to ignore
but
that bit.
Also, it does go from a 3 to 2. Like, do you know what I mean? Basically, the news is very much, as we go through this, United do kind of like drop out of this a little bit.
Yeah, but guys, for me, December 23rd, that tweet there from Bild in Germany, I think that's absolutely huge. And at the time, you might be like, oh yeah, maybe not. But when you look back, and this is why it's so good to do the timeline, because you can start to see who's saying what, and when are they saying it, and then what happens later on in the timeline. If they come out and said, X, like, this happens, this is happening, and then it doesn't happen, well, then they kind of a bit like, oh.
You lose credibility on them guys, and you're like, yeah, they're dodgy. Let's not listen to them as much.
If they say this is going to happen in this period of time, and then you get to that period of time and it does happen, then guys, you got to look at it, and you got to look at the other stuff that they're saying. We move. Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. Are we getting a Christmas present, Bray?
We're getting a Christmas present now. This is from The Athletic. Erling Haaland was not Man City's first choice target last summer for various reasons, but he's still well hugely thought at the club, and they're in the race for his signature this time around, whenever he might become available. Now, this doesn't really tell you much. However, if you dissect it a little bit, it actually does. Now, obviously, we knew he wasn't first choice last summer because we was in for Kane. Everyone knows that it was a big thing, and I'm going to come back to that in just a second. Still hugely thought of at the club. Now, obviously, he's one of the best strikers in the world. Of course, he's going to be hugely thought of. And we're in the race for his signature this time around. So now, you've got this Ducker guy, you've got Bild, and now you've got The Athletic. 3 completely separate people all saying that City are like in for his signature this time around, whenever he might come available. Maybe City at that point, you got to remember, guys, this was just before the transfer window started. Maybe City were flirting with the idea of potentially looking at some sort of January move. That obviously probably very quickly became not doable because you just get him in the summer for a lot cheaper. But the reason I want to come back to this, bro, Erling Haaland was not Man City's first choice target last summer for various reasons. Not first choice. So that means he was in the running. Now,
He basically was in the list.
If you think about the Harry Kane transfer saga, bro, that obviously it was a very difficult saga. We was putting bids in left, right, and centre, and they were getting ignored. You know, emails going into the junk mail, and then Harry Kane seemingly from going on strike very, very quickly said, "I'm staying." Now, hear me out, bro. At the time, everyone thought, "Oh, he's just decided to stay for another year." I've got a conspiracy theory. How about City went, "Harry, we've had enough. We're not getting you. We're going for Haaland next summer." Boom! And then, because it was actually City who stopped signing Kane. City went, "You know what? Nah, I ain't spending 130 million on this guy. I'm gonna put the phone down. I'm gonna tell Kane that the deal's off because we're gonna go for Haaland next summer." All of a sudden, Kane's like, "Ras, they don't want me anymore." He's then got to go, "Oh, you know, I'm staying. I made a mistake. Blah 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 blah." The reason is because he's been forced to stay, bro.
Yeah.
Tell me that's not a possible thing.
Yeah,
I know it's a bit out there, but it's impossible.
No, that ain't out there. That ain't out there because look at the price that Tottenham wanted for Harry Kane, 150 mil, and City were never willing to go near that. But why? And it's because for 150 mil, we could have gone and got Erling Haaland. So the closer we get to that, City just go, "You know what? Nah, leave it. We'll do without. We'll go get Erling Haaland on a pre-contract as soon as that comes available. And we'll go pay that release clause, save half the cash, and then use it on his wages."
Yeah, and to be fair, I distinctly remember this summer doing transfer videos on Kane, and I remember saying the higher the price goes, the more chance City will just say, "Nah, sin a bit, we're going for Haaland." Now, how do we know that that's not what happened? All I'm saying is that Kane thing went from he's 100% joining City to literally overnight everything's dropped. City not in for him. Kane staying at Spurs.
Yeah, basically, like.
Why did that happen? Everyone's putting it down to, City couldn't pay the money, Levy wouldn't sell him. No, everyone's saying, Levy didn't sell him, he was a Levy masterclass. I'm going to flip it on its head, bro. I've got that coin, I flipped it, and I'll tell you what happened. Levy was sat there in his office going, he's counting the pennies. He was on the phone to all the players in Europe saying, we're going to have big cash, we're going to buy you and that. We're just holding out for that extra couple of £1 million. And then City went, Caldoon and that, in the office went, "No way, I'm not getting this guy."
Nah, I had enough on this,
I went, "Sorry, mate, we did want you, like it was a real thing, but we're not prepared to go this high. Deal's off, we're going getting the Norwegian lad from Germany."
Then suddenly Harry Kane is like, I can't wait to play under the new manager.
Suddenly, literally, with that overnight, Harry Kane was like,
"Oh no,
I'm chill, I'm staying."
Do you remember the apology and stuff? It happened so fast, and not an apology, but his statement saying that he's going to stay at Tottenham and do you know what I mean, and stuff like that, and he's not going to leave, and he's thanking the fans, you know what I mean, and all this, and it was like, this is weird. What, you wanted to leave a minute ago? Why now?
And as well, bro, why did he not come out in that thing? Said, "You know what? I really wanted to leave. It's not going to happen this year. I'm going to give everything for the club."
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If the deal was still there, the reason is because City have said, "We're not getting you, bro. We're getting Haaland, bro."
MCFC lad's currently eating a slightly oily curry. Hopefully, the money goes towards Haaland.
No, but on a
real, bro. No, you're on something. You're on something. Maybe City just went, "Nah, you know, Kane, sit a bit. It's Haaland season."
I just think that that whole Kane transfer saga was framed in a way that it was like, Levy masterclasses held Kane to account. No one's considered the potential that City actually went, "Nah, we don't need you, mate. We're actually pretty sick without a striker. We're not desperate. We're not going to spend £150 million on you. Soz, sin a bit. We're going for Haaland." And Kane was all of a sudden in this horrific situation where he's then got to stay at Tottenham.
Yeah.
I mean, which is pretty bad.
And also, he's not at that point. He's playing under Nuno, wasn't it?
Yeah, which is a bad situation, bro.
Big up Ismail, yes. Welcome back to the X Club. Yes,
yes,
J1 member. Yes, he's got that gold badge and that. And where's the next one, bro? Olabi Yusuf with a tier 3, bro. That is big. Yes. Appreciate you, mate. Obviously, your support helps the channel grow and that, and also helps me and LB do this, innit?
Yeah,
which is
definitely.
Big. Appreciate it. And also, you can go to tier 3 live streams.
Yeah, come to tier 3 live streams. They're a chiller. And Craig Bradley, a member for 5 months. That didn't work out too well for Levy or Kane. Exactly. Exactly, it's not worked out well. But I'm just putting out there, I could be wrong. You know what I mean? I'm having a bit of a laugh at the same time. But there is a chance that I'm actually right.
Yeah, of course.
Caldoon could be sat there going, "Ras, this guy's busted me out."
Caldoon right now, honestly, FBI are pulling up in it, you know what I mean? They're suing us. They're like, shut that down, shut
think
that
with
down.
hats.
Joe, them email leaks in it, the whole Liverpool stuff like that. They're gonna be thinking it's us, bro, because you're onto them. You're onto them. You've got it.
Right, can I get some... going to continue with this timeline.
Continue the timeline, bro.
Continue with... The conspiracy's been shelved. Yeah, it's been parked for another time. Although, I'm actually buzzing with myself.
I think conspiracies are going to continue throughout this.
I think so. Right. New year. We're now into 2022. By the way, didn't 2021 much pretty quick, didn't it? I think so.
Yeah. Basically, 2021 was a year where everyone thought everything would be fixed,
And
it just wasn't, innit? Let's forget 2021 happened. Let's move on to 2022, innit?
Yeah.
Let's go.
So, we're in a new year, yeah? We have a bit of a new year lull. Like, there's no news for a week. You know, everyone's on holiday. You know, me and Iola.
Yeah, Fran Torres has got off as well. Do you know what I mean? And basically, everyone's, you know what I mean? Everyone's had all the Christmas dinners and that. No one wants to write
exactly.
no stuff.
Now, to be fair, you know, you're absolutely right. Ferran Torres left in that sort of period now. Now, that's big because we actually now do need, like, legit need a striker.
Yeah, because now it's confirmed that we need a striker, innit? You know what I mean? We have to go get someone.
Right, now, news. Also news is the fact we've got a new entrant into this scene with Rob Dawson at the ESPN, bro.
Yes.
Rob Dawson, January the 6th. Man City are still intent on signing a striker in the summer, preferably Harry Kane or Erling Haaland. He mentioned Sterling, but that's not a thing.
That's not relative.
Yeah. So we've now got a new entrant. We've got someone who's never been seen before, bro. You know, where is this guy? We've not seen him through December. All of a sudden, he's now coming out with news, bro.
I gotta say as well, he also backed up the money. Rob Dawson backed up the money generated by Torres will be funding the Haaland thing. So you know, I mean, that's two people who come out and said the exact same thing.
Yeah. No, you're right. So look, we've got a new entrant now. That was on January the 6th.
So I mean, new player, David Ornstein. I mean Rob Dawson.
Yeah. So this is news. Now he is obviously saying that we're still in for Kane, and to be fair, I think that's reasonable because City would still be in for Kane because at the end of the day, we're not guaranteed to get Haaland. So Kane is still an alternative. He's still an option for the summer. So I think that is a perfectly reasonable thing to say. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Also, Sergeant Tom there doing bits. Say he's accumulated the current sources that are coming out with Erling Haaland to Manchester City stuff. And it Rob Dawson, you got Build, The Athletic, and Ducker from the Telegraph. That's the list so far, bro.
Big. That was a big addition.
But what's next?
Day after, David Ornstein,
a new player, and I gotta say, this isn't just any normal player. This is David Ornstein's a big dog.
Like he's a prestige, doesn't he?
Yeah, basically, yeah. I mean, he's level 10 prestige all the way,
he's
innit?
Prestiged.
He sells them USB sticks, innit? That you can hack your PS4 in it to get your prestige.
He's got the big prestige. He knows the situation. January 7th, a day after Rob Dawson, by the way.
Yeah.
Man City are planning to hold meetings with Erling Haaland's representatives over the weeks and months ahead. Whether or not he opts for a move to Etihad is a different matter. There's a feeling from the City end that Real Madrid pose the biggest threat, which I think we all kind of know anyway, but we're being told now that City feel like this as well. But what's good is City are now ready to speak to Erling Haaland. So if you start piecing things together, I think now you can start piecing things together. We've had one source saying in Build, saying City are prepared to spend the money, that they are willing to spend the 75 million. Yeah. We had a different source saying Mino Raiola wants this big chunk of money. City is still pressing it on.
We're fine about it. Yeah, I mean.
And now we're about to hold talks with the player. Yeah, I mean, so
and also
covered all bases.
This also backs up before when you were saying about them getting everything right. In January, they said about City about to speak to the representatives and stuff, and then David Ornstein's coming out and saying that we're planning to hold meetings. And and it's January now. I mean, we're planning to hold meetings with them. Yeah. So, and then also as well, this is where he's confirmed there. If there was loads of clubs in for Erling Haaland and thought the feasibility of signing him was there, then he'd probably be listing more clubs than just Real Madrid. But it's Real Madrid posing the biggest threat right now. And he's saying, so basically at this point now, 2-horse race. Real Madrid are the biggest threat to City's Erling Haaland challenge. I mean, signing him.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Things are starting to pick up pace now, by the way, bro. Okay. Ah, yeah, shout out Mojeez!
Ah, yes, Mojeez. Mojeez is an OG. He's been around for time.
Yeah, Mojeez there with a tier 3 membership. Yes, Mojeez. Hopefully see you in some tier 3 live streams, man. We've actually been grinding bare on them tier 3s.
Grinding tier 3s out. I appreciate it.
Come along.
For people that have only just joined, by the way, we are going through the Erling Haaland saga in it from December till now. As in, Mutastic, can it catch me up on what's happening? Basically, we're just going through the timeline, and we're now on January the 7th.
Yeah. Well, we was on January.
We're moving on now.
8th. New entrant, bro.
A
new entrant to the arena.
new player.
Mario Cortegana.
Mario Cortegana.
From Marsa. So this is big because this is a Real Madrid reporter, bro.
Yeah, this is on the Spanish end of things now.
This is a Real Madrid reporter.
You know what I mean? We've had the tier ones from England. We've had the German, build from Germany, and now we've got it coming over from Spain.
Yeah. No, this is big. This guy's reporting Erling Haaland is assuming at this point that Man City are going to make an offer. They're prepared to release the clause and offer him the money that he wants. And that Mino Raiola is basically going to open up an open auction for the player. Now, I think this is actually nothing to do with City. I think this is a wake up for Real Madrid. I think that this statement, this report is actually a sort of
Raiola,
pushing.
I think he's maybe fueling that Spanish side to get Real Madrid awake and go, right, do you know what I mean, boys? You need to start fueling, because if City are in contact, he knows City are in contact, he knows City want him, and the offer's going to be on the table very, very soon. So Raiola needs to create a bidding war. So what he does is, he starts, saying to the journals, here's a little bit of information here, release this in Spain. He releases that, then Real Madrid, suddenly that starts fueling off in Spain, and Real Madrid are like, oh shit, City are willing for this. We need to move fast.
Completely agree, bro. That's exactly what I think's happened. I think this has been pushed from the Erling Haaland camp, and I'll come back to why in just a second, into the Spanish press. So then the Spanish press get hold of it and go, boom, City going to make an offer. Haaland's considering
all
it.
over the back
He's
page in Spain.
All of a sudden, Real Madrid are there going, City are already making moves. And I believe it's because City have made a move. I believe on January the 8th, Manchester City have made an initial inquiry.
I think so as well. Do you know what I mean? Tinfoil hats are fully on here, boys. That is the day. That is January the 8th, or it could have been January the 7th, but January 8th was definitely, around that time, was the time when City have actually already made contact with him. Because he knows, because Raiola knows that City is speaking to him. Because if he doesn't, then he doesn't need to do this. But he has done.
And as well, bro, if you go back a day, what did David Arnstein say? Man City are planning to hold meetings with Erling Haaland representative over the next weeks, months. What about if he's got the timescales? What about if he'd been given the correct information, but he's just been given slightly incorrect timescales? And we've actually already spoken to them. What about if we spoke to them the next day, bro? Nobody knows, innit?
Yeah. He said weeks and months. It could. There's no time frame of where.
If I say to you, bro, I'm gonna buy a new car in the next week. I could buy a car tomorrow.
Yeah.
That is in the next week.
It's factually within the next week.
We're pretty sick of this, isn't it, bro?
This is good, this. We need to be like, we need some like conspiracy music and that. Do you know what I mean? We're getting good at this.
Yeah, no, right, we move. And again, bro, you know what's happening now? We're starting to pick up pace. We're on a daily thing. Every day we're getting news. We're back to the Athletic. Man City are very keen on signing Erling Haaland. They know Real Madrid are in a stronger position to secure his services right now, but City, and listen to this, want to be in the race until it's over and will have the finances ready to deploy. Boom! Lego! That's big! I know
that is big.
I know basically we're saying that we're like second in the race, but that's still big, Brit.
It's still big because City basically is saying there, it doesn't matter whether we're first or second, we're going to be here till the death of it. We're going to be here until he signs a contract with whoever it is, and you know what I mean? We're basically going all out. We're going all out. We want to be in that position. We want to be in that driving seat. So we're going to stay here until he decides to go somewhere. So basically, we're basically saying to Erling Haaland, mate, we want you. We want you. And that'll be City trying to convince him, you know what I mean?
And also, bro, the last sentence there, again, this source is backing up two other sources. What am I on about? Well, the Athletic is saying that City have the finances to deploy. Well, we've already been told by Bild that City are prepared to spend the 75 million euros on the release clause. And the other source that said City are aware of the 55 million brokering fee and are pressing on. So now, again, guys, we're starting to put the pieces together, and more sources are sort of backing up each other here.
Yeah, basically. And then what's happening is, throughout these last, like, do you know what I mean, from December till now, it's almost like you're getting, like, basically, it's a big puzzle and you're getting little pieces of it, and it's they're starting to link up, you know what I mean? Basically, if this is an ultimate team of journalists, they're starting to get them green links together, because it's like, do you know what I mean? Because basically, they're all backing each other, not knowing, without speaking to each other, or even being communicated, or even working for the same, do you know what I mean, the same companies. They're actually giving us information that each other are saying. So no smoke without fire. They're all saying the same. They're all singing the same tune right now.
Yeah. Nah, they're absolutely. I got a couple of messages from our members I just want to read out here. Mudtastic, member for 3 months, still trying to figure out if I want Haaland as a powerhouse finisher or Vlahovic. Personally, I'd have Vlahovic, but I wouldn't say no to Haaland. I think both are great options.
Both are great
Looking
options.
like Vlahovic might be on his way to Arsenal.
Yeah,
though.
I think that's what's going to happen.
Beautiful South. Member for 5 months. Haaland
yes.
watching City versus Chelsea on his Instagram. You're
Yeah,
absolutely
yeah,
right.
yeah, that did happen.
That is big. And I actually said, bro, after that, you know, he's looking at that, bro, and he's got to be thinking, I want a bit
Them
of
balls
that.
into the box that we did
I
against
want a bit of
Chelsea.
that.
He's slamming them.
I want a bit of that. Right, we move. We press on.
We move. Before we do,
Yeah, bro.
should we do a Manscaped pad?
Let's
Go
do
get a
another
drink, innit?
Manscaped pad break.
Let go.
85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code EXTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping. Yes. Thanks a lot, guys. The sponsors help us, innit? So we've got to show them some love. Right, we move on. January 11th, bro. New entrant has entered the arena!
Ooh.
And in the blue corner, coming from Sky Sports News, Kevin Salikov!
Well, if he was watching this, he'd be absolutely buzzing with that. You know what I mean? That was good, that. You sounded quite good there.
He's actually sick then, yeah, I was buzzing with that. Kaveh Solikov, new entrant into the arena, January 11th. If you're talking about seeing Erling Haaland in the Premier League, Man City are in pole position.
Perfect.
The pole position for this guy. So basically, we're saying the reports about United before, forget about it, mate. If he's going to the Prem, it's City only. That is it.
Yeah.
That is big.
New entrant as well.
It's a new entrant, and also Sergeant Tom doing bits again. I mean, he's got a list. Keep updating it.
Keep that up, Sergeant Tom.
Yeah,
Bray.
Sergeant Tom, you're doing bits in this stream right now. He's got. So we've got Dawson. We've got Bill from Germany. We've got the Athletic. We've got Ducker. We've got David Ornstein. We've got Mario from Marca in Spain. And now the new player is Kaveh Solikov from Sky Sports.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Big.
So, look, we're almost at the end of this now, guys. We're almost at the end.
Also, just before we start with that, Tier 1 member, yes, Uru. By my OnlyFans, your big Chad. Welcome to Tier 1, mate.
Welcome to Tier 1. Thanks a lot for joining the Extra Club, man. 4 new members to the Extra Club. Thanks a lot for supporting us, guys. We really appreciate it.
Really
if you want to
appreciate
join the
it.
Extra Club, by the way, link is in the description. If you join as a Tier 3 member, by the way, you get all the Tier 3 live streams that we do, and we've actually been smashing it. The Tier 3 members will tell you in the chat. Right. And this isn't a thing, but Bertie Full South mentioned it a few moments ago. I'm going to repeat it. January 15th, we was playing against Chelsea. This guy, Erling Haaland, was watching our game. Now, obviously, a guy doesn't really mean anything. The guy can watch a football match. I watched a football match. Does that mean I'm signing as a striker for City? Probably not. You know what I mean?
I'd hope so. You get big cash, bro.
I get big cash, you know, but I get a lot of merkage because I'm rubbish. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
I couldn't deal with the stick. Me, you know what I mean? Imagine me giving me stick. Imagine me on a watch along giving me stick on a watch along.
You'd be going ham in it.
Who is this guy?
Who is this guy? Brown, get him out.
But yeah, he was watching our game, by the way, on January 15th.
Yes, he was watching it. And
Make of that as well. He was also eating caramels that he made himself.
You know what I mean? So basically,
does that mean anything?
City need to basically get bare caramel, innit?
Wait a sec. We're sponsored by Cadbury's.
City are?
Yeah.
Oh, actually?
Yeah.
Well, he made them himself, though, innit?
Yeah, but you can't just get a Cadbury's. That'd be way too obvious, bro. You know, they have a Cadbury caramel.
Did they do? Also, I've just got to say about this. I get he's watching football and that. I get he's watching football. But does he do this on the reg? Has anyone ever seen Erling Haaland post a picture of him sat there doing something watching football? Ever? Do you know what I mean? If this guy just likes football, I get it.
As well, guys, it's so obvious what he's doing.
It's so suggestive.
It's like he's zooming in on the caramel. He just manages just to get the TV in there as well.
Yeah, like, look, bro, caramel's made by me, but he's clearly watching the football, and he clearly never does this ever. Yeah, exactly. Shark Team there. Haaland knew exactly what he was doing. He knew what he was doing there.
Yeah.
He's doing that. He's teasing City fans. It's just like when he came to City, when we played Dortmund, and he walked round the badge, wouldn't walk over the badge, you know what I mean, for respect. He wore sky blue trainers. He had that backpack, which was like a City backpack. Basically, he flirts with the club a bit, doesn't he? He's flirting with the fans there. He's getting the fans excited.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Dare to go. That's a good name.
That's a sick name.
Coming in with a 7. Seeing the media and rival fans' reaction to us signing Haaland would absolutely be prime, bro. You best believe we're having like a 24-hour party. We should have a 24-hour live stream party, bro.
A 24-hour sesh.
That's what's happening if we sign Haaland.
We sign Erling Haaland, we keep going for 24 hours.
We do not stop. And Sarash has come in with a 449 rupees. Thanks a lot for your support, man. But yeah, that is actually funny. The media and everyone would just lose it. Right, we're on the last news, bro. Last news, but it's a new entrant into the arena.
Whoa.
And welcome into the ring, fantastic Fabrizio Romano. This was yesterday. New entrant yesterday. Erling Haaland is top of Manchester City's list as they look to sign the top striker during the summer transfer window. Now, can I just say something here that I think is very important? Is what you've got to realise, the way that this works, yeah, is City leak information to journalists. That's how
all the
works.
time. That's how. You know what I mean, basically, your tier ones, they're usually the ones that they'll leak the concrete stuff to.
Yeah. Now, every single person is saying that Erling Haaland is top of the list. Now, that for me is interesting because we obviously know that Real Madrid is a clear threat. PSG may be a threat. United may be a threat in some weird alternative universe. Bayern Munich maybe. Juventus, whatever, right? I'm just thinking about this from a City point of view. We obviously know that Haaland's going to be difficult over the line. Everyone here is saying that Haaland's our top priority. Now, if we end up having to not get Haaland and go for Kane, that's going to be quite bad from a Kane point of view. You know what I mean? Because he's not top priority.
Not top priority. Now, and also, if what happened last summer...
Yeah, exactly. Now, this for me, bro, I think this is real confidence because City are leaking the information to the journalists and saying Haaland is our top priority. Now, if they was a little bit worried about the potential that they wouldn't get Haaland... If I was the football club, I'd be saying, yeah, we're in for a striker. Kane's obviously an option and Haaland's an option. I wouldn't be leaking to journalists, Haaland is our number one priority. Because then if you don't get him, the fans are going to be gutted. Yeah, but if you're going to sign Kane, Kane knows he's not number one.
You're setting yourself up for a fall. Because if you're like out there going, Erling Haaland's top priority, there's always going to be the element of disappointment when we don't get your top priority.
That's what I'm saying.
Can I just say big up JTC? JTC's in the chat and he said yes for the 24-hour live stream. Also, Patrick says we need to bring back house rules if we do a 24-hour marathon.
Yeah, that could be difficult. That would be difficult. But you get what I'm saying, bro? Like, why would City Because you got to remember, guys, is City don't need to tell anybody that Erling Haaland is our number one priority. They don't need to do that.
You're shooting yourself in your foot by doing that, because if Erling Haaland doesn't decide to go City, and then you've got your options like Vlahovic and Kane and that, they're looking at going, did they even want me? Do you know what I mean? Am I second option?
Leave all your options open.
Yeah, you have to keep your options open and keep it. Do you know what I mean? So that whatever play you do end up going for, if you don't get your number one target like it is Erling Haaland, at least then you can just go, it was always in for Kane. This was always the thing. Do you know what I mean? You save face.
That's what I'm saying. So for me, I think City are confident about this deal, because that is as of yet. I'll just do a refresh just in case we've had anything in the last hour since we've been live. We've not. For me, in my opinion, I think that like City are confident that this deal's going to be done. If it is indeed City that are feeding the journalists this information, and it's coming from somewhere, because they're all saying the similar things. You know what I mean? So for me, I think City are confident that they're going to get this deal over the line. Otherwise, I don't see why they'd be saying he's our number one priority. Like, you wouldn't do that. You've already been burnt on Kane last summer. We got burnt on Maguire. We've been burnt on Sanchez, burnt on Messi, burnt on Fred. You know what I mean? We've literally been burnt on so many players over the last 5 or 6 years. Surely they'd have learned the lesson.
Yeah.
They wouldn't be saying he's our number one top priority. They'd say he's an option. Kane's an option. Vlahovic is an option. That's not what they're saying. The journalist is saying he's our number one priority. I think City are very confident that this deal is going to get done. Now, something that's not actually come up on here, and because it's because it's a Dortmund thing, but do you remember earlier on in the conversation, bro? Earlier on in the timeline, I'm going to go back to it. When was it? It was in December. Let's have a look.
Just say, by the way, Vlahovic has just scored again. Apparently, he scored a banger as well.
Oh, did he? Where is it?
You on about the CEO?
No, not the CEO. There we go. Sorry, just had to find it. Build, December 23rd. Dortmund plan to hold concrete talks with Erling Haaland's camp in January. Did you see the match interview that he did the other day, Haaland?
Yeah.
What did he say? Tell the ladies and gentlemen, Brie.
So, it's funny how that's actually not on this list, isn't it? So, obviously Erling Haaland did his match interview, didn't he, after the match? And he said, basically, his hand's been forced a little bit. Basically saying his decision has to be made very, very shortly, because Dortmund are getting impatient and they want to know. Now, does that mean that they've already had talks and then Haaland's like, I'm keeping my options open, and then Dortmund's, do you know what I mean? Because they said that Dortmund are trying to speak to him about signing a new contract. Maybe they've had talks and Erling Haaland's gone, yeah, well, I want to keep my options open for now, and then I'll decide when it gets closer to summer. And then Dortmund didn't like that because he's not just immediately accepted their proposal of a wage, do you know what I mean, their contract. And then they've gone, nah, we want to know now, mate. Do you know what I mean? If you're not going to accept this right now, then you need to tell us what you want to do. You need to tell us what you want to do. This offer's on the table now, and you need to tell us, innit? Right, and then so, obviously he's come out and then moaned about it.
Let me tell you exactly what he said.
The direct quote.
Borussia Dortmund are now pushing me to make a decision about things, but I just want to play football.
See?
Right? Because what's he saying there? What he's actually saying is, I don't want this, because actually what I want more time to decide what I'm doing.
I've not made. Yeah, I want to.
And basically, Mino Raiola's telling me the longer I wait, the more money.
More money I get. Basically, so, I wait and I get more cash.
And that's what he said. And then he said that probably means that I will soon have to get things started, right? Borussia Dortmund have started to put a lot of pressure on me. This is first week, second week of January. What did Bild say in December? I'll tell you what Bild said in December, Bray. They said Borussia Dortmund plan to hold concrete talks with Erling Haaland in January. They've got it right. They've been spot on. What else did they say? Man City are ready to pay the €75 million buyout clause. Mm-hmm. What else are we being told from everyone else? City's number one target is Haaland.
Top priority. And we're ready to pay the cash.
The pieces of the puzzle are just so smooth right now.
And Raiola, the whole Raiola cash thing, not a problem for City. We've worked it out already. City are already there. And if you go back to earlier, what we were saying before about Raiola, is when he was leaking stuff to the Spanish press, City we're already in contact with these. But we've already made you know what I mean? We've touched base with Raiola and said, yeah, let's sort a date out. Let's sort a date out and let's get so we can actually put an offer on the table.
Yeah. Now, the thing is, this is backfired for Dortmund. Because they've obviously they've obviously had talks. They've said, oh, we want you to stay, obviously. They obviously know he's not going to stay. But, oh, yeah, we want you to stay. We want you to offer a new deal. And I believe that they've put a little bit of pressure on him because they want to sort of get something done rapid, you know what I mean? He's obviously called them out because it's Erling Haaland and that's what he does. He's called them out straight away and said, they're putting pressure on me. They're forcing me. They're not liking this. The Borussia Dortmund director, after the Haaland interview, said, Erling Haaland's comments surprised us a bit. Currently, there is no deadline.
You know why? Well, because they've been burnt.
Yeah, they've been burnt, but also that confirms that they've spoken to him.
Yeah, they have.
Because there's no deadline. That's because if you've not spoken to him,
then
first of all, then Erling Haaland is just lying because he's already said that you've forced him to make a decision.
Which I don't think Erling Haaland is lying, because why'd you lie about something that's so negative like that?
And he's just come out and said there's no deadline. Well, if you've not spoken to him, you wouldn't say that. You say, I don't know what he's on about. We've not even spoken to him. Currently, there's no deadline. But then he goes on to say, there have not even been any talks yet. So so basically, the Borussia Dortmund here are directly calling Haaland a liar. Because Haaland has come out and said, they're pressuring me to make a decision. They're forcing me to make a decision. But then this guy says, we've not even spoken to him. Well, one of you's lying, lads.
One of you's lying.
And by the way, I don't
why,
care who it is,
and why would Erling Haaland be lying, though?
This
why?
is bad for them. Because this means that there's fractions and there's tension in the camp, you know? This isn't good for them. This is what he goes on to say. This is the director. He's called Zorc, the director of Borussia Dortmund. But it's clear and understandable and only professional that we want to have and hold talks at some point. So, you know, someone's selling porcupines here. Is it Haaland? Who's you know, I think that it's this guy. I don't think Haaland's lying. Why would Haaland just come out and say, they're forcing me to make a decision?
It wouldn't make sense.
Because he doesn't have to make a decision.
It wouldn't make sense.
He doesn't...
If anything, it's better for Erling Haaland to go, oh yeah, I'm waiting. It's better for him to come out and say, oh yeah, I'm not going to make a decision until later on.
You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying, like... I don't really understand why he's lying for.
JCC in the chat has just said, all the Haaland comments lead towards an exit from Dortmund, in my opinion.
Of course it does.
That's the way it does. It looks like the relationship is getting sour. It's not as smooth sailing as Erling Haaland wants it to be. Obviously, someone's lying. It's more than likely it's a boss man lying. Do you know what I mean? The CEO guy.
Yeah.
And obviously, things aren't going well because Erling Haaland isn't actually... Do you know what I mean? He's not happy there. He's not happy that he's had to come out and say that.
And I don't think he'll be happy with this guy lying.
No, then he has to go with that, and he's like, this is bullshit.
Basically, Haaland's been told by Dortmund, this is the new contract you're being offered. If you're not signing it, tell us be rapid, because we want to know. Although they've got no right to know, it's got none of their business to know what's happening, because there's a release clause. They really don't need to know what's happening. He's then come out and said, oh, they're pressuring me, blah, 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 blah. And then he's come out. Why would you say, bro? Sorry, I'm just saying something, yeah? Say I was selling you a phone, yeah, and you was like, oh yeah, I'm interested in the phone.
Yeah, I want that phone. That's a nice phone, that, bro.
Right, but that's not actually happened, yeah. So I've not actually spoken to you about the phone, right?
Right.
And then you come out and you say, oh, he's trying to make a decision. He's trying to get me. He's trying to force me to buy the phone.
I'm saying to my other mate who knows I want a phone.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I'm like, oh, he's trying to force me into getting the phone, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? He's trying to pressure me into buying the phone.
So then I say, oh, I don't know. I don't know what it's on about. There's no deadline. Well, what are you on about? No deadline. Like, a deadline only exists if you spoke about the phone.
Yeah.
Because there wouldn't be a deadline.
Bro, that doesn't happen. Do you know what I mean?
There's no deadline.
There's no deadline because there's no conversation that's been happened to even.
So why is he saying?
Because you can't even make a deadline, innit?
Why is he saying currently there is no deadline? Obviously, there's no deadline. Because if you're saying there have not been any talks yet, which is what he's saying, there have not been any talks yet, there will be no deadline.
Makes no sense. Basically, he's contradicting himself in the same sentence.
He contradicts himself. The guy that contradicts her. You know what I mean? This guy. Who is this guy? Zoc. You know what I mean?
Who does he think he is? Now, obviously, that is the end of the timeline of credible.
That is the
credible news.
Credible news.
You know what I mean? And as well, like we said with Ferran Torres, and we say it all the time, innit? No smoke without flames kind of situation. We've shown you in this stream, everyone is singing the same tune. Do you know what I mean? Things are moving. Things are 100% moving forward. Let's go. So who's buying the phone? City are buying the phone, mate. I know a lot of people in the chat before and are still like, oh, Zishan. And we are aware of who Zishan is. You know what I mean? He's the guy on Twitter who says a lot of stuff. I'm not sure how credible he is. I don't know where he gets information from. I don't know in it. Do you know what I mean? I have no idea. He is saying that there is a meeting in place for next week. I think next Monday that there is a meeting in place, which obviously does sing the same tune as all the other stuff. But you know what I mean? I don't know where he gets his information from, so you know what I mean? I have no idea in it. It could just be suggestive information. He could say any day next week, and you know what I mean? Because that's the last week of January, and we're probably meant to be making talks in January, so you know what I mean?
Once the guy comes out and gets like a legit thing, like, I'm not ruling him out, I'm just saying like you can't, you know, he's got to nail something.
Yeah, basically, it has to, you know what I mean? It has to hit the nail on the head, and then I'd be like, yeah, buzzing.
But that basically, guys, concludes the timeline from December the 1st to the current day. So you're up to date, and if you only just joined us, start the stream again.
Re-up.
But we you know, the situation for me, and I think I've learned some stuff today.
I have as well.
From going through the timeline. And what I've learned is two things. One, I don't think City would be telling the journalists and all them guys that Haaland was our top priority.
Because that's stupid. Because
if he's not, and they're not confident that they can get the deal over the line, because that's stupid. I think there's tension between Borussia Dortmund and Haaland based on the interviews that I've just seen. I think that there is a real doubt in my mind as to whether Real Madrid are able to get Haaland. And if they do get Haaland, well, Benzema's going to become available. And if you want him for a quick fix, you could always get him. I know that won't be for everyone, and that's completely fine. But there is a quick fix available there.
I do think that they are. I think it's a 2-horse race for Haaland, and I do think that they would be them who are in the running with us. It seems to be that, do you know what I mean, like coming from Ornstein and stuff like that, saying that they're the one that are putting the most pressure on City, but with City making the first kind of moves, you know what I mean, like seemingly making the first moves in the Erling Haaland saga with speaking to Raiola, I think now the onus is now on Real Madrid to do something. Pretty much, do you know what I mean, we've already spoke to him. I reckon we will be meeting with Erling Haaland within the next couple of weeks. Well, apparently it's in January sometime, you know what I mean? I think
if it's not already happened.
If it's not already happened, I think a meeting will be set up where we can actually get a proper deal aligned on the table, because like I said before, City will want to get this done as soon as possible.
Let me tell you something that I can absolutely guarantee you right now. Haaland has spoken to City.
Without a doubt, because they know as well. They know that an offer's on the table.
They might not have gone into mega details, but they've had a conversation.
Yeah, a conversation.
100%
between maybe Caldine and Raiola has happened.
Like, it's not FIFA, innit? Like, some people play FIFA, innit, and go, mate, it's not summer yet, they've not spoken to each other. No, that's not how it works. You know what I mean? Like, these deals take months.
Yeah, like
months. They take months. They don't just, you know, it's not June the 1st or July 1st and then City go, oh, transfer window. We should probably speak to Mino Raiola about that
Erling Haaland fella.
That's not how it works, guys.
It happens months in advance. It's like last year, we made, we outlined personal agreement with Vlahovic last year in March, just to get it, just to say, yeah, if this happens, were you willing to come to City? And he went, yeah. And they kind of agreed something, then we went for Kane instead. Do you know what I mean? And that happened in March. The transfer window wasn't open until June. So things happen very, very far in advance.
As the extent of what the conversation is and the agreements that have already been made, we don't know. No one's going to know that. And if anyone says they do know it, they're probably lying. But I can guarantee you now City would have spoken to Haaland. I think the information that we've received so far from Haaland and Raiola is probably positive. Otherwise, I think we would have had some news that City are pulling out of this deal, and I think we would be getting more rumours about Vlahovic and Kane and them Dons.
If anything, set it off to make it more negative, and like basically we're not looking at getting him. There's no way City would miss out on Vlahovic, who'd have already agreed personal terms with last year.
Not only that, bro. Not only that. Let me just say something, yeah? City are seeing this stream right now. City are seeing people on Twitter getting gassed about Haaland. If City are not in for Haaland, they will release news to the journalists to say, quieten this down, we're not in for him.
City don't like this. That's what they... Do you remember last summer? The whole Messi thing, and everyone's getting excited about Messi, saying, we need to go for Messi, look at him, he's available, we need to go for him. So City kept putting out to the journal saying, we're not in for him. We're not in for him. We're not in for him because
they don't want us to get gassed.
Because you don't want the fans to get gassed about something that won't happen, and then it becomes negative energy that the club don't want to be surrounded by, because then they get questioned about it. Then Pep gets questioned about it in press conferences and that. Then they want to quash that rapid.
It's like when we fail at a transfer. When we fail at transfers, who gets stick? The board. Look, we failed to sign a striker last summer. Who got stick? The board got stick for not signing a striker. When we dropped the ball on signing a centre back when Vinny left, who got stick? The board. The board gets under pressure when they fail at signing players or buying the wrong ones.
How many times have you seen Cheeky out on Twitter?
Exactly. So, you know what I mean? If Cheeky's seen this on Twitter and like the media team and that are saying, oh, City fans are gassing this Haaland thing, and Cheeky's like, nah, this is not happening, he'll get on the phone to Sam Lee and be like, Sam, bro, kill this story right now. We ain't getting him.
Yeah.
And it might not be that, you know, he'll pass that story on to him, but trust me, they'll push the story out there.
Yeah.
Because they won't want the negative energy around the club.
They do it all the time. It's something that City do. They release the information to the journalists to quash anything that they don't want to be circulated.
Not just City, every club does it.
Yeah, every club does it because they don't like it's negative. It's negative.
You'd be an idiot not to do that, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Like United, they was like being when Ronaldo wasn't actually initially being first linked with United, and you know they come out straight away and was like, nah, it's not happening. He's not coming back to us. You know what I mean? Why? Why did they do that? They did that to stop United fans from getting buzzing about a potential reunion of Ronaldo.
Yeah.
And then obviously it ended up happening only because he was going to sign for City.
Yeah.
But they initially come out and was like, we're not in the market.
They quashed it because they didn't want all the United fans to get excited.
So then all of a sudden, straight away, United fans weren't getting gassed about Ronaldo. Whereas if they wouldn't have done that, Ronaldo's available, United fans would be like, oh my God, we're going to get him. And then
he's coming home, yeah.
They'd be fuming. And now they'd be sat there going, we could have had Ronaldo. But, you know, that's the situation.
Just before we read out some super chats, bro, Ollie has information here, bro. He says after the game that he waited on Saturday, he waited for Pep. Which Ollie's done before. He's an ex-club member. He has posted in the chat before pictures with Pep and that. I think he gave him a birthday card, actually. And he said, we were told by the head of security at City that he was in a meeting with Khaldun, who was at the game. I saw him. Pep took 3 hours to come out after full time.
3 hours?
3 hours. Now, that stinks to me. Either they're trying to get some... Because City will be looking at this going like, oh, Pep, you've not got long left here, mate. You know what I mean? You've only got a year left. It could be speaking about contract extension. Could be speaking about who you want as a striker. Could be speaking about Erling Haaland. You never know. It could have been Pep and Khaldun on a phone to Mino Raiola trying to get some... Do you know what I mean? Trying to get things in place.
That is interesting. Patrick Ollie there with an 8. Yes, Patrick. Raiola concerns me, Bray. I see Haaland moving around to several big clubs through his career like Zlatan or Anelka. Could be a massive salary merchant. Look, Patrick, bro, I have absolutely 100% the same concerns as you.
I have that.
I think the best way to deal with this, which is a problem, is just try and accept that this guy is likely to absolutely bag bare goals for us. We're probably going to dominate the Premier League. Hopefully we win a Champions League with him. And if he ends up leaving, he ends up leaving. That is a
bygones
problem.
Bygones, isn't it? Just let the time that he was here, do you know what I mean? Just enjoy that time that he was here, innit, and smashing it for us. Kind of like, do you know what I mean? He does it. It's a pure Raiola thing to do. And also, a good way to keep him at the club, though, is get on Raiola's good side, which, you know what I mean? You know what he wants? Big cash, innit? Do you know what I mean? Keep funding that guy cash.
That is a concern.
It's a massive concern.
I've come to accept it a little bit more. I remember last year, I was actually quite against the Haaland deal, wasn't I, bro? I was like, I don't really want this guy. I don't want Raiola.
Well, the thing is, we knew that in, like, say he comes in 5 years' time, he's going somewhere else.
Yeah.
Less than that.
I was like, nah, I don't want this guy.
And as well, he wants big wages now. What about in 2 years' time, when Raiola's like, right, let's have a look at this contract because Erling Haaland's just been top goal scorer for the past 2 years. We want more money. If we don't...
You think we're going to get Haaland and everything's going to be plain sailing? You're in dreamland, man. Things are going to happen. You know what I mean? There'll be disagreements. It'll be up for contract renewal. Raiola will keep moaning the whole time. But it doesn't matter if he's scoring the goals. What the problem arises if he ends up playing like Paul Pogba and doing nothing. You know what I mean? And making no effect and making the dressing room dead. If he comes in and smashes the goals, it was like Yaya Toure. Yaya Toure's agent, Dimitri Saluk, or whatever he's called, he was a knob.
He's horrible, him.
He was a knob, but no one cared. Why did no one care? Because Yaya Toure bagged bare goals and was sick for the most of his career at City. You know what I mean? No one cared. The problem is if the player's dead and starts like being rubbish, That's when the problem happens, because then, like, okay, you're now rubbish. You're not doing anything to help us on the football pitch,
and your agent's causing a storm every 2 minutes.
It's causing major issues. That's where the problem lies. You know what I mean? So you got to sort of weigh it up. But it's a valid concern. I have the same concern. I'm just trying to put it to one side.
Yeah, you just basically try and swerve that, and just think like Austin King there. Don't cry when it's over. Smile because it happened. Innit? I mean, basically, you just gotta allow the relationship, innit? Yes, there's Ty in the chat. What's happening, Blue Angels? I think I'm alone in wanting Vlahovic. I think a lot of people do want Vlahovic. By the way, I think like a lot of people have been saying it. He has scored today as well. I think he's bagged twice. Apparently scored a worldie. Do you know what I mean? What did I see there? David saying, this is funny. David saying it. Now you've untangled the mystery of Haaland's transfer saga, can you tell us who shot JFK and what happened to Lord Luca? Great stream, boys. Yes, well, basically, you know what I mean? This is what's coming next, isn't it? We're going to be doing like crime files and everything like that. Unsolved mysteries with Johnny Poddy and LB.
I don't get excited. I got the conspiracies.
Bro, I'd actually love doing them streams, you know. Do you know what I mean? Going for all the information. That'd be sick. Patrick with a $4.99. Tinfoil hat. Now, this is pure conspiracy mode, this now.
Yeah.
Haaland was watching the City games in prep for his call with agent and City brass post-game, where Pep spent 3 hours. We have set sail. Haaland's watching the match. Because he knows that City are going to be ringing him after the match. He knows that Pep's going to be there.
Question. Did Erling Haaland tweet or Instagram anything in the immediate 3 hours after that football match? If he didn't, it's confirmed he's joining Man City.
As simple as that. I think that's when City they had a conversation. That 3 hours, City had a conversation with Erling Haaland.
It's funny. Yes, Almighty Fish coming in with a tier 3 membership. Thanks a lot for joining me.
Some big tier 3 members today, you know.
Hopefully we'll see you in the tier 3 live streams that we do where we watch other matches, so come and join us for that. If anyone else wants to join the Almighty Fish and the other tier 3s or any other tiers, link is in the description. You really do help support the channel. You get a badge on there as well to show your loyalty to the X Club, so really appreciate it. And Jammy Jam Jam coming in with a £5. As much as I want Haaland, I think he'll go to Real Madrid. I think Jammy Jam Jam, I think, to be honest, from what my point of view, I think it's us all. It's us all Real Madrid. I do not see United as a threat. I do not see Bayern Munich as a threat. Well, obviously, Bayern Munich are not a threat right now.
But if Lewandowski goes, I'm leaving.
And by the way, you best believe that if Lewandowski leaves, I'm on the phone to him straight away. Get to my football club. And people be like, nah, he's too old.
Absolutely loves Lewandowski.
Bro, have you seen this guy's record?
This guy's numbers are insane. This guy's still smashing it right now.
Also, remember, like, the 33 is like the new 31, bro. Like, people might laugh at that, but I think that's legit true. Like, with all the sports science and all the nutrition and that, like, I reckon, like, when I was playing at 36, 37 years old, like, Lewandowski is a striker. Bro, this guy can play to like 36 quite easily. But anyway, that's another conversation.
Mohawk Mohican there, bro. If you take the first letter of all the Haaland's Instagram comments in chronological order, it spells, I am joining City in summer. Confirmed then, innit?
What was the point in this stream?
Exactly.
Had I known that, I would have not even done it.
What's the point, innit?
Patrick Collins coming again with $8. Yes, Patrick. Little indulgence for everyone. Foden and Haaland up front in those rumoured red and black away kits next season.
Can I just say, it's confirmed red and black next season. It's not a rumour. It's a confirmed thing. Puma have confirmed next season is red and black kit season. So, you know what I mean? It'll have a V-neck on it, so you got to allow that.
He spoke to him, didn't he?
You know what I mean?
He spoke to him.
And as well, oh, bro, City released the red and black kit, and who's the poster boy? It's Erling Haaland, bro, with the red and black City kit on.
You know what, as well? You know what? I got it as well. Black, yellow, red, black. Because Dortmund is black, yellow.
Yeah.
That's what they called, isn't it?
Yeah.
Black, yellow. And when you get a black, red kit, you can like PR it as a black, yellow to black, red.
Black, yellow to black, red, yeah. True that. Look at that. Big marketing brain on LB there.
I'm on fire tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Right, guys, we'll end it there. What a stream it's been. Erling Haaland to Manchester City, confirmo. City to pay 75 million release clause. Otherwise, we're getting in the DMs of all them journalists.
All the journalists that were there, innit? Yeah. I mean, we're going to be going sick. Why have you lied to us? We hope that we've made you know what I mean, a little bit hyped for it. Basically, what we're trying to say is the train's setting off. The train's setting off.
It's fueling, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's defo fuel.
It's at the station, bro. People are boarding.
Yeah.
And all these people in the chat now, It's time to board the train, boys, innit? And if you've not got your ticket, you need to get your ticket. Mib, clutching straws in the stream is an understatement. Mib, put your tinfoil hat on and join us.
That's what we do. That's what we do.
This whole channel is clutching at straws.
But yeah, we might have to do another one of these in a couple of weeks if we get more news, and I do think we'll get more news. But the key takeaways for me, guys, is that everyone's saying that City is prepared to pay the fees. They're prepared to pay the 55 million, or they're at least prepared to talk. I think what's happened in the last 2 weeks with Haaland and Dortmund, he's not staying, guys. He's not staying.
He's not staying. He's not.
That's tension right there. He's literally called out his current football club.
Yeah, he's at his football club, basically calling him out, and then they've come out and said he's lying.
Yeah.
Bro.
Yeah.
So that is not a good relationship. He's not happy right there.
That's done.
And bro,
he's going.
Ollie B got me gas on this 3 hour Pep thing, you know, and the fact that Erling Haaland was watching the match, and then he can say to Pep, "Good game, mate. I'd have finished all them chances though."
No, absolutely. Right, guys, we'll leave it there. Thank you very much for watching us on this super special Erling Haaland timeline investigations. You know what I mean? I reckon we could have a Netflix documentary soon,
bro. We're so good at this.
Making a murderer case.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Yeah, Catherine Zellner, mate. You got nothing on Jordy Poddy and LB. We will solve that case and get him free straight away. I mean, Unsolved Mysteries coming soon with us.
Big unsolved. Yes, Lloyd Rigdon as well. They're coming in with a tier 3 membership.
Another tier 3. Yes, Lloyd.
Moving mad today.
Madness.
Yeah, we've actually been smashing out the tier 3s, and they will continue. So hopefully you guys can join Lloyd in the tier 3 extra club. Massive shout out to Manscaped. They sponsored tonight's stream. Thank you very much for watching the stream, guys. We'll see you in the next one. And yeah, we'll leave you with the Manscaped advert one more time because we know you love it, innit?
I love it. So get your Kiwi emojis out, innit? It's in a bit.
85% of partners prefer a man who is groomed below the waist, and 96% of partners think bad grooming is a major turn-off. That's where Manscaped have come in to help us all out, including myself, lads. The Lawnmower 4.0 is a trimmer specifically designed with our crown jewels in mind. It has skin-safe technology to reduce those nicks and cuts and gives you the maximum confidence while trimming below the waist. It's also IPX7 waterproof rated, so you can operate in wet or dry conditions. It has a premium 7,000 RPM motor with quiet stroke technology and a massive 90-minute battery time, which is supported by its wireless electromagnetic charging function. With the Performance Package 4.0, you'll get the Crop Reviver with witch hazel and powerful odor defense. This keeps your balls protected after a good shave. Crop Preserver with its soothing aloe vera and advanced quick absorbing cream, keeping your balls feeling fresh and hydrated. And the Weed Whacker to trim ear and nose hair. The Performance Package 4.0 has everything you need to keep you the most groomed man in the room. Use our code EXTRA20 XTRA20 at checkout and you'll save yourself 20% off your order and receive free international shipping.